Hey, hey, can you hear me? Look, check it out. Ignite Her has launched. It is 2025. I'm just picking up clothes from one of my friends who had some extra clothes to help out the Ignite Her program. If you have any gently worn business attire, clothes for women who are out here doing the work but maybe do not have the clothing that they need to get the job done, we need your old clothes. Hit me up in my inbox or through House of Peach. The program is called Ignite Her, where we provide clothing to women who may be transitioning from one job to the next and maybe don't have the means to buy clothes. It could be going from working at McDonald's to now working in an office. So we're looking for gently worn business clothes. Make sure y'all hit us up, all right? Please hit us up. We need those clothes. And check right below there. If you're not in the state of Delaware, you can mail them to us. Or if you're in Delaware, we'll pick them up. Y'all have a great evening.
Hello, welcome to the Boss Ladies Lounge, put on by the House of Peach. My name is Morgan Harvey, and I am one of the co hosts. Yes, one. I feel like this has been a very, very busy month for April and I. It's like you either see one or you see the other. And graduation time, lots going on for me. I definitely had a whole slew of babies last month and had to do impromptu traveling. And I mean, that's what this is all about, right? We're talking about, entrepreneurship, empowering women, and we are empowered women who are consistently on the move and always looking for what is next for our personal growth as well as our professional growth. So, a little bit of housekeeping, real quick. Again, thank you and welcome. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the House of Peach Boss Ladies Lounge. You will see up at the top a QR code that is going to bring you, if you're not already, on YouTube to our YouTube page. Please like, share, and subscribe. We would really, really appreciate that. You can also watch us live on Facebook and on YouTube. We've got Facebook on April's page and House of Peach. I won't even say my page right now because for some reason Facebook doesn't want to link. And then we've got YouTube, which is youtube.com/, the at sign HOP empowering women. So, I hope you guys have had a great weekend. We are nearing the end of June. Like, holy smokes, where did this month go? And I'm excited for what July has to offer us. We've got some hot weather here. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it surely is hot here in Delaware. And I can only imagine what it's like in Florida for our friend April. So, without further ado, I am super excited about our guest today. I had the pleasure of meeting her. Literally right after I came back from Ghana. My friend who I always talk about, and we have to have her on as well, the owner of Huck and Buck Farm in Smyrna, Delaware. She was like, I've got this friend and you need to meet her. And I was like, okay. And she goes, she's supposed to be coming in a little bit. So I stayed at the farm waiting to meet this friend. And when I met this friend, I'm telling you, she is everything I didn't know I needed and then some. I can't wait for you guys to one, hear her story, two, see all of the or hear about all of the amazing things that she has in the works, and then something super special that I know a lot of you guys would like. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest, Regina Reethy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so for for having me aboard today in this hot day.
Yes, at least we're inside with some AC though, right? Goodness
Yeah, yeah. At least
gracious.
I'm seated on AC. I have to be grateful for that.
Yes,
Yeah, and just
absolutely.
just as a side note, it doesn't get this hot in Kenya. It doesn't.
Good to know. Okay, look, you are more
But
plus ticks for me every time we talk about
yeah,
this
yeah, it
because it
doesn't get this
surely
hot.
was this hot in Ghana.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much, sis. Yeah.
yes, yes. So, like I said, welcome. I am so so happy that you made your time available to us. I know that a lot of people are going to be blessed by what you have to share.
Thank
And
you.
so just start off, introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about yourself, and I guess one interesting fact about you.
Awesome. Awesome. How much time do I have for that?
Listen,
Because
you got as much time. This is like us sitting on the couch like we normally just talk anyway. So,
okay, sounds good. So let me give you my intro. So
yeah.
uh, I want to say Asante Sana, which means thank you in Swahili. My name is Regina Rithi. Above everything else, I'm a mom to two children. One a daughter who is a daughter who is now a mom. So I'm a grandma. So a mom to two,
Mhm.
Joy and Louis, and grandma to Eliana, which has been such a blessing. And so just to go back, I came to this country, the US, the state of Delaware, never left Delaware. Never left Delaware for the last, actually, October is going to be 24 years. I landed in Philadelphia, one luggage. I like to say that one luggage, about $100, and two kids. And when I landed in Philadelphia, what I didn't know is the journey. It's gonna be not easy. It's like a roller coaster, just like the economy, like ups and downs. However, through it all, I can say all those has been blessings. The lessons have been a blessing. So in 2008, I received a call from my sister who was back in Kenya, and there were tribal clashes in Kenya then. And she said, just wanted to know, at the Catholic Charity in Nakuru, we have thousands and thousands of families who've been displaced by the war. Would you be able to support one child? And so that started my journey of supporting orphans from 2008 until 2019. By 2019, I had supported 21 kids by myself, in addition to my two kids. So the way I would do that is I would actually make some bracelets and I'll get $25 and that will pay a school fees for one child. Uh, and God will open ways in different ways and I'll get a way to support. But by 2021, I had supported 21 kids through education, food, and clothing. And 2019 was very pivotal in my life because I was an empty nester. For the first time, I didn't even know what to do with myself. I remember doing a mission trip, my first mission trip to Tanzania, and coming back, it felt like I fell on a cliff. Because what I was used to is my son was a track, he was a track son. So it meant dropping, picking, traveling, and all that. And for the first time, I'm like, what am I going to do with myself?
That's a real thought. That's a real question.
Like there's no dropping, no picking. Nobody is calling me, Mom, did you make the recovery trip? The house is quiet. And
Yeah.
so I 2019, I decided I'm going to continue doing mission trips. I did first one in Tanzania, and it was a awakening call. Like, oh my God, I've been here for so long that I detached from the reality of being in Africa.
Mm.
And so my goal was to continue now serving on the mission trip. However, 2020 COVID hit. I remember by then I was working at the courthouse in Wilmington and we were sent to work from home. So I'm here at home. You can imagine, here at home, empty nester. And I had just started my journey of like meditating, like, just sitting, reflecting on my thought, reflecting on what's going on. And I started, like my daughter would tell me 3,000 people died in New York. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, this was my prayer. God, I do not want to die with COVID because I feel like I haven't done what you sent me here to do. And I said, will you show me black and white what you want me to do? And sure enough, that was March, April, May 7. I had a dream, and that dream came to me. It was very clear. The information is very clear why you have to do this. Why? And so at 4 a.m., I woke up and recorded everything that I could remember from this dream on a journal. So unfortunately, I don't have that journal here, but it's something that I would like to be able to share. That's why I recorded all that dream. And to
Mhm.
look forward, today is 5 years, but everything I recorded 5 years ago, it's like everything has come to pass. So, for example, God was showing me the need for education, and not just the formal education. Why we are back in Africa, that we are not getting educated. And so the goal was to start a library or a safe space where children will come and learn. And not just learn the books, but learn like even other stuff, how to raise chicken, how to raise goods, how to raise all that, right? So as we speak, we shipped a shipping container from the US in 2020, sent it to Kenya, and that has been our hub. So under that, we've shipped over 10,000 books, not only just to equip the library, but also about 20 surrounding schools that we have donated the books to. Also, we have used that as a technology hub. So we are training technology, computer skills. Like most of the kids in Kenya, you find in the area that I am in, they've never even seen a computer. So within the last year, we've trained over 727 kids in that space.
Wow.
2021, we were able to build what we call like a greenhouse. And this greenhouse is 100 by 30, just to give you the dimension. And we grow organic food where we're able to supply the orphans and also show them how to grow it. 2022, we were able to build the animal, what I call the animal. For us, we're keeping them in a cage, or we've caged them, and it's not my wish. However, we don't have enough land, so we have them. We have the chicken, goats, and rabbits in a small caged place. That way, they stay in there. We are able to feed them from the vegetables we grow. However, they give us the compost. We take the compost and put it back in the garden. So the goal is eventually, when we are able to get a bigger field, is to let them to be free, so that they can
Yes.
roam, roam and give us the compost, and we grow the food and they eat from the food. And then 2023, we were able to do the drilling. We drilled a borehole, which is a 250-meter borehole. And that's how we are getting the water, not just to grow the vegetables, but also to supply the community. Last year, 2024, we started our technology hub. So we have done the foundation phase. The goal is to build 3 levels tier. And those 3 level tiers will be not only like a co-shared working space, but with two major technology hubs. In the US, I did hear my sister talk about clothes and all that, and it's something definitely I would like to support, because what we do is we ask people to share what they are no longer using. For example, you have kids who have outgrown those clothes, and those clothes you're going to dump them maybe in Goodwill or maybe in trash. And before you do that, can you consider for us to take those kids to support the orphans in Kenya? So
Mhm.
we have shipped lots and lots of clothes, shoes to the kids in Kenya. The ultimate goal is to pair the kids. So where you have one kid, so for example, you have Noah, and Noah outgrows his clothes, and we know these clothes will go to support a specific boy in Kenya.
Yes.
Ultimate goal. And not only just support them that way, Noah's has so much information here, they can do the same thing, like a video call with the person in
Mhm.
Kenya, and they can be able to empower them. So that's the ultimate goal. And so pretty much that's Upendo and my story within the last 24 years being here.
Holy smokes.
You
But I
didn't know
said
all of that.
you've done more in the 24 years here than people who've been born here and had more than a suitcase and $100.
Yeah,
How?
a suitcase. Yeah, a suitcase and $100. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like wow.
Yep.
So tell me, like, because there's so many things. I'm like, I wanna back up, but then I wanna like fast forward all of these
I
things.
know. That's why I
So
asked you how much time you have. Yeah.
what's it like mentally as a mother and a woman to experience that empty nest syndrome and then like have to sit with that and then not feel like whatever it is that you're doing is potentially busy work. Like what kept you from feeling like even what you were told, here's the plan and here's what I'd like you to do next? Like how did you what kept you motivated and on task for like, all right, this is the next part of life rather than just going to go crawl up in some corner or have a midlife crisis or
Yes, yes.
decide to
So that's a good question. Once I had the vision, it was like, how can I say? It was like I was lit on fire.
okay.
And it's like no single day that would go without me talking about Upendo. Literally, honestly, for the five years, there's no single day that I don't talk about Upendo. So it's like you can't shut me down. Like, can you not talk about Upendo? Even my kids know. It's like we'll do something and da da da. We'll go for a walk at the park, and guess what? I meet somebody and they want to go to Kenya, and now we're talking about Upendo. So literally, since I had that vision, it's like my life changed 360. Never
Mhm.
even ever. Actually, that's the first thing that I've noted. Never even ever thought that I'm an empty nester again because there's so
Hmm.
much to do. I sit on my dining table doing so much work to try and help these, and then I'm getting connected, I'm getting meetings. So since that day, it's been like a roller coaster. Never, actually, never even ever experienced emptiness since that day. Never,
Really? So then
never.
what about seeing, so do you get to see your children? Because I know you said you're a grandmother now. So like do
Yes,
you get to see them? Does that kind of like bring you back into, oh yeah, wait a minute, I have like grown kids now because you're
yes,
so
yes.
inundated with things. Like where does that balance now look like with having adult children?
Yes. So just to let you know, I came back here because my daughter had a grandchild. And so the last I would say March, April, May, I was most of the time I was in New Jersey until she was able to get a nanny, and now she's able to do that. At the
Mhm.
moment, right now, I'm in Delaware, and the reason I'm in Delaware is to register the trade school. And we hang out like with my son last weekend. We had time to hang out with them. And two, the other thing that I'm realizing, learning, let's say, not realizing, is now they have their own life, right? My son
Mm,
is dating, my daughter is married, so it's not like they have the time that we had before. So me
yeah.
being able to allow them to be themselves has been a new thing that I'm learning, right?
Yeah, talk
Yeah,
on
and
that for a
even
minute because that's real.
like
That's real. I mean, I know what it's like with younger children and
yes,
trying to still navigate allowing independence and for them
yes,
to kind of just blossom into themselves.
yes.
But yeah, on the
It's a,
grander scale, because you're used to, that's how I parent. Now it's
yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
shoot, like he's a whole
No,
grown man. Like
I
I
have
might
to
have to
ask.
step back. He has to figure this out, or
Yeah,
I have to trust that I instilled the right things.
yes.
So yeah, how
So
what is
that's a very interesting, and like I said, I'm also learning. So for example, it was his birthday on June 10th. And so before I would say, hey, for your birthday, can we go to the beach? Da 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 da. And now I have say, hey, would you like to do something for your birthday? I'm available. I am available to
yes,
spend the
oh
day
I
with
love
you.
that.
All right. It's
Like,
no
do you want to
longer,
hang out with your mom? Like,
yeah, would you like to hang out? So it's completely like different. Different. But
yes.
at the same time, is another thing is I noticed being a single parent is control issues, right?
Hmm.
Control. So um, maybe I can share one story. When I was, I would say what? Maybe my son was about 10 and still trying to navigate, do I go to work or do I stay at home, or how are we going to pay the bills, right? And I
Yes.
felt deep inside, I felt I didn't want to leave them alone, right? So it took a lot of sacrifice for me just to do one job, just to pay the bills and to provide the food and go to school and not be able to like leave them alone. However, for the weekend, I had to go work overnight. And I remember one time leaving the house and I felt this fear, like literally, I can't afford a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to work overnight and I have to leave them alone. And
Mm-hmm.
my daughter was 12, my son was about 10. And something dawned on me, and he said, if today you're sleeping at home and somebody was to attack you, what would you do? Even one man, two
Mm-hmm.
men, what would you do? And guess what? I realized even one man I can't defend. And at that point, it was a very, to me, very clear moment that I need to start trusting God.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I would say. Like when I close the door, I'll say, Father, you're the one, you're in charge. I'm going to go to work and they're going to be okay. And I remember my neighbor who was a single lady as well, single parent. She said, Regina, who do you leave your kids with? I said, their father.
Yes. That
He was
father sees all, okay?
Yes, he was like, wait a minute. I thought their father is not here. I said, what do you mean? He said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? Like it got her really good. And I said, I said their bad father is not here, but their heavenly father has never left. So that's
Mm.
where I leave them. And up to today we joke with her about it because she started using the same thing. She
I
said,
bet she
"Where
did.
is your father? Who did
I
you leave
bet
your
she
kids with?"
did.
There with your father. And so God connected us that way. And now we could even support each other. That,
Mhm.
when I'm working over the weekend, they will stay at her house, and weekdays, they would stay at my house. And when I'll say when my daughter graduated 2017, she moved to Seattle. And I remember feeling very bad that she has to move because it's like we had this bond where it's like we have two daughters and two sons, right?
Yeah.
Both 2 years age. But then I remembered, I say, mission accomplished. It's like this season is accomplished, right? We have
Hmm.
been together for this long. We have raised the kids together. And now my daughter is graduating and going to New York. Her daughter is graduating and going to Ohio. And so, guess what? We no longer need each other the way we needed each other's support then. So I wanted
Yes.
to bring you to that moment. And so right now I'm in different zone where like my daughter is married. She's in New Jersey. My son is here. And sometime I have to be in Kenya. And so the goal is trusting that the same God who was able to take care of us, that will continue taking care of them as well. And I don't
Mhm.
need to have sleepless night worrying what are they doing, what's going to happen to them, right? That I can trust. And that's a new season that I am in. And just getting to accept that that's what's going to go going forward. I don't have to be with them every day. I don't even have to see them every day. But God, I can surrender that to God to like know
Yes.
that He's taking care of them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like he's also blessed you with a ton of other children.
Oh yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about the orphanage that you work with now, the children that you're working with
Yeah,
now?
yeah. That's a funny thing because so the orphans in Kenya, finally they have met my daughter. They haven't met my son.
Okay.
And for them, I kept telling them I have two kids. They say, no, you don't. And they say, no, 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 I have two grown kids, right? And
Mhm.
so I would write on, if you see on my Facebook on Mother's Day, I would say, I'm so blessed to have 100+ children because
Yes.
I have birthed two. However, I have so many children. And that has been such a blessing. Sometimes I think about it even when I meditate, and I'm like, so many kids that are looking up to me. And now they started calling me Mama Upendo.
Oh,
They call me Mama Upendo. Mama Upendo means love, right? And I keep saying that's a big title they have given me, right? But
yes.
most important is knowing and creating time for each individual kids. It's funny because over the weekend I went to an event, and we were asked, if you had 5,000, what would you do? And what you do for yourself. And it's funny, we were a table of eight, and I said, I'll give it to the children in Kenya. And the guy was like, no, 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 we are saying for yourself. I say, that's for myself. I, I'm not lacking anything. I don't need anything. I don't
Right.
do. It's if this kid's life is better, I feed off that. Like them coming, you should, and you will be able to experience that. Them coming and giving you a hug and say, "Thank you for these shoes. Thank you for these clothes. Thank you for this book." Honestly, to me, that's what pushes me every day, like to make that difference. So
Absolutely. For
that's a
for some of y'all who don't know,
yeah.
I am taking the long boat back to Ghana by way of Kenya
Yes.
with Mama Upendo, but
Yes.
specifically because I'm like, when
Yes.
I say the call, the way that she has just, I mean, if you guys just heard how between 2019 to now, how things have just unfolded one after the other, and the amount of service, the amount of love, the amount of commitment specifically to these children to really just provide everything to me is like, sign me up when and where. So I'm like super excited. I mean, you had me at Kenya anyway. So it's
Yeah.
when,
Yep.
where, yes,
Let's
sure.
do it.
Whatever it is you ask me to do, I'm there.
Let's
But
do
now
it.
the fact that it is just so, I feel like it's just so much more meaningful. There's a lot more intention to it.
Yes.
Um so, I guess, can you give us a nice setting of what does it look like? What does the foundation and the space look like if people were to come and visit? Is there an opportunity for people to come and visit? How can anyone get involved either from here or potentially even do what I'll be doing?
Awesome. So, yes, that's a great question. One of, if you look at our mission, is to build, connect, and build ecosystem communities that support orphans and at-risk children. And so I believe in this power of community, and I believe that all of us has been blessed differently, right? For example, there's somebody who can sing, there's somebody who can do art, there's somebody who can sew. And so the goal is to connect those talents so that you're passing your baton, whatever is on your hand, you can pass that baton to the orphans back in Kenya. And not just it feels like it's just you giving. However, it's amazing when you go to Kenya how much you receive. I want to say we are having the next trip in September. This will be the fourth trip we have done in Kenya,
Okay.
where I have somebody who wants to come and serve. I had the last trip I went with Thomas. Thomas is a construction, he's a real estate investor. So we were able to not only help us with the construction portion of it, but also we hiked Kilimanjaro with him. Um, what else? There are a couple things that you can do. Number one, if you're whatever skill that you have or whatever talent you have, whatever passion that you have, you can use that when you come in Kenya. For example, I had one of the ladies who came from North Carolina. She likes to run. And guess what? The kids in the morning, they were like, "Can we run with you?" And guess what? They will run with her in the morning. And she's white, which was so funny because she was like all these kids, like 15, 20 kids running with her in the morning, every morning waiting for her so that they run together, right?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And then the next time they were like, "Do you know how to cook Kenyan food?" And now that she's there cooking in their kitchen, right?
Hmm.
Cooking in a traditional kitchen. So it was, she cried the whole time she was there. She said, "Regina, I've never felt so much love than I have felt in the last 3 weeks." She said, "I was supposed to go to 3 units, but unfortunately, I can't. I just want to be here with these kids." So she said, "I'm here with her organization, but definitely she's hooked up for life to come and hang out with the Upendo kids." They braided her hair. That's the other thing. She had like 10 kids braiding her hair. All right. So there's a lot that you can be able to do if you have, for example, you play instrument. That's another thing that you can come and do. If you don't have all that too, you can come and just hang out with the orphans. So sometimes you go and you find we have 6 kids who have been adopted, right? That we have taken these kids who are thrown, they were in trash, and now we brought these kids home. Just holding these kids goes a long way. Nothing else, just holding. And it's funny because when you try to drop them, they cry. So just hanging out with the kids is another thing that you can do. And then we have, of course, the animals, the gardening. That's another thing that you can be able to do. As consider the setting. So right now, I do have a 3-bedroom house. However, these are projects that we've started where people can be able to feel they're part of it. We are building African hut. If you want to experience Kenya from an African hut, you can stay in that hut and you can invest in that hut. If you want to feel the cabin feeling, you can invest in that as well. And the last one is what we are calling precast. So the precast is a modern home, a 2-bedroom with AC, with air conditioning, with flush toilet, but the other two are traditional feel. And when you're there, one of the beauty things that you have to be able to experience is fresh food. So we have tomatoes in the garden, we have scallion in the garden, so we'll be cooking Kenyan food from the garden. But we do
Yes.
definitely have an opportunity to go to the city, which is like 15 minutes from where I live, that where you can be able to get like not Chick-fil-A, but I know they have a few restaurants, like American restaurants there as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I am not coming for no American food. Okay.
I
Give me
know.
all the Kenyan food. Okay. Like I'm
I know.
looking to
I
get
like
that
my
thing.
fresh. I like my. Listen, I like my egg omelet with spinach and
Yes.
from the garden and tomatoes from the garden.
Yes.
That's my heaven. The only thing I do carry is like chia seed and flaxseed, and I already have seedlings where I'm able to grow that as well. So I'm yeah,
You are
yeah.
on it. And
I
listen,
brought chia
we're
seed.
kindred spirits for breakfast because I actually had that for breakfast a couple of times while I was away. It was just
Ooh, the
easy. Yeah, with
spinach.
the leg
Mm.
extras. Yes, girl, good. I love
Yeah.
that. Oh, I might
Right.
have that for dinner tonight now.
Yes, yes. Go to the
Nice and
garden, dig
easy.
some spinach, and chop that. It's all fresh from the garden. It's amazing.
Exactly.
And
Some
tomatoes as
tomatoes.
well. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, you can't ever beat a fresh farm eggs as well. So I was like, there really is a difference in the taste. So I'm
Huge.
so excited. Okay, so we have investment options. So guys, if
Yes,
you didn't hear that, there are 3 different types of housing that you can, one, be able to invest in, but two, when you go to Kenya, you can be able to stay there. And
yes,
that's accommodation. So I know I'm definitely putting my hand in at least two of those. That hut definitely is it. And the fact that I like that it's traditional and
yes,
it's like you were saying, it's mud. So now you
yes.
still get the coolness of things, guys. So I don't want you to be over here like, so what now? I'm supposed to be passing out in this heat. Like you said, how it is feeling for those of us who are especially in Delaware, it doesn't get that hot.
No,
So
it doesn't.
I promise you, she would not stick you in a place that would be uncomfortable and unbearable. But this would be definitely something that you can experience and be able to say, like, just really down to the grassroots of everything. Your experience was, authentic. And I think
Yes,
that that's what, we're looking for. I think that that is what, we really want to be able to experience, especially from this side of things, being colonized, being lied to about, how our ancestors live, how intelligent they are, what what we're capable of, who we are in general. And I think that, it's very important for us to look into, one, ways we can continue to support our community locally, but then internationally, especially when we're talking about, ultimately, these are our brothers, our sisters, our aunts, our cousins,
yes, yes,
grandparents.
yes,
And so, like, I'm super, super excited about that. So you have a couple of things locally that are coming up. You want to share what's going on next week or this
yes,
weekend coming up?
yes, yes, yes. Super excited about
Yes.
the June 28th. We're gonna have actually one of the how can I say, he's very known, and I'm just coming to get to like to even humble to be able to connect with him. His name is Francisco. He's one of the mural artists in Wilmington. So if
Okay.
you've been to like my sister's keeper Wilmington Bridges, you'll find he's the one who's done that work. And we reached out to, you remember that we reached out to him, connected through the Instagram, and he was like, "Oh my God, I want to be able to do this," and not even for anything. So Francisco will do the wall at the community center. And the goal is building, restoring the community for the community. And one of the beautiful things is everybody who will be there will get to have their hands in and put it on the wall.
Oh,
This is a
nice.
community center. Like when I think about it and I say the ancestors who are sleeping, thinking for the last 30 years, this community center has not been used. But guess what?
Yes.
Soon we'll be able to use that. And then July, the same space will be doing a barbecue as well. The other thing that is happening, and I wanted to share this before I leave, I wanted to make sure for those of you who decide to to be able to support like a child or that, I have my routine. This routine, I know you asked me about that, but I think it's a very, very powerful routine. This is the journal. I like to use it at night or during the day. And what is important about this, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you're business, whether you're a nonprofit, but I think conditioning or having intention of how you do your life is very important. And for me, gratitude is the way. Gratitude. So, for example, as you go to sleep, I want to go back a little bit into that. I don't want to use a lot of time about on this, but I can go for a whole hour talking about this. But one of the biggest lie is we feel alone, right? And remember, like vision to me, that means he gave it to me. That means I'm not alone. And that's the biggest lie for most of us, feeling I'm alone. How can I do this? But the moment you remind yourself, whether it's at night or during the day, that God is divinely guiding and protecting you, literally, even when I say that, God is with me. He'll never leave me nor forsake me. I feel that presence. So that's something I encourage, like, if you're running a business, just to remember that you have that divine guidance. The second portion, even whether it's also your children, surrendering them that. The second portion of the journaling is where I call today, not tomorrow, not the other day, but today, I'm divinely guided and protected. So affirming that, whether it's your children, literally, actually, for my older children, that's how I say, instead of me worrying what's happening to them, I can affirm that. And I like to use like beads to ground me. So I'll be there for like a good 5 minutes, repeating, God is divinely guiding and protecting Joy and Eliana today. Thank you, God, you're divinely guiding and protecting my son. Thank you, God, you're divinely guiding and protecting my father, my parents. And I say it for other people, right? For that divine protection. And I feel an inner peace for me that truly, truly, He is divinely guiding them. Because I've seen for years, since I was a single parent coming to this country, He's never failed. He's never let me down. And then that step is what I call the gratitude, like just being able to write. You can write 9 things on this like journal, or you can, if you don't have this journal, just go buy a notebook and start writing. So, right, for example, I'm thankful today we have AC. It's hot outside there, but I'm seated under AC. There's somebody today I met, they said their AC broke today. And I'm like, oh my God, what a day
Of
to break.
all days, yeah.
Yeah, what a day to break, like on such it's 102. And so I thank you. I can see you. I can see your beautiful smile. I can hear you. I can talk to you. I can touch. Thank you for all that. So gratitude is such a powerful way, whatever stage you are in life, whether it's business, whether it's raising your children. And then the last portion is being still, just taking a moment to be able to be still. Like for me, I like to say, listen, God, speak, your servant is listening. And sometimes it's not that time that it happens, right? Sometimes it's not at that moment today when I'm doing that portion, but sometimes it's like I'm driving and I hear, call Morgan today, or call Andrea, or email this person. And what I've seen is, if I follow through with those instructions, that's how the magic happens. That's how you get some connections that you're like, whoo. Good example, I offer to take somebody to the investment class, knowing truly it's not something I can do at this point. And by me offering to take them, I go to sit on a table with like a millionaire. And that's what it was like when he was like, oh my God, Regina, 5,000, 3,000 is what you need. And he's like, by the end, we are ending yesterday, he said, listen, let me give you my number. I want you to reach out to me. And I said, I don't know if that's exactly why God wanted me to be at that meeting, but there
Hmm.
are two people who told me outright, like, they have been looking for a mission that we can support. Boom. Right. So if I didn't listen to that inner voice to like go to this meeting, just take Abby to this meeting, right? Maybe I could have never connected to these people. And maybe down 3 months, I'm going to be talking to you. I say, remember me telling you about that, me obeying to take that? This is what happened, right? So
Yes.
you can now live or do your business boldly, knowing that you have divine guidance, right? And not
Yes.
worrying, how am I going to figure these out? Because people keep telling me when I tell them about like even things I'm doing, they say that's very intelligent. The idea of the cabins, that's very intelligent. I'm like, it's loaded to me. God gives me these
It's like, as
ideas.
much as I'd like to take credit for it, I can't. But
Yes,
thank you.
right, right. The idea of Upendo, like how would I even think about
Yes.
five
Yes.
projects and to grow food in an organic way? How would I figure that out, right? But it was loaded to me. The only thing I was obedient is to journal it. And now I can
Mm.
look through the journal and see who, okay, 5 years down the line, check, 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 check. So I'll encourage, if you're out there doing your business, whether whatever the stage you are in life, like journaling is such a powerful way to do it.
Absolutely. I just
Yeah.
want to let you guys know I have this journal, and when Regina first gave it to me, when she went down the steps and you talked about gratitude, and I remember you saying that, to be able to just say thank you is Asante Sana. So it was funny. I was like, okay, well, I don't, and I think we met on like a Friday. So I'm
Yes.
like the weird person. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll start like on a Monday, or maybe I'll start like Sunday night, like just so it's like a clean slate. There was, but the day I woke up, I remember you saying something about, um, no matter what mood you're in, if you stay in a spirit of gratitude, like it changes. You can't be in a bad mood if you're thankful. You know what I mean?
No,
You
you
can't be
cannot.
upset or
You
sad
can.
if you're grateful.
Yeah,
And I was like,
you
okay,
cannot.
so like I felt like the walls were starting to close in. And so I just took my hands
Yes.
over my heart and I just started to be thankful. And
Yep.
it was just even the smallest things, like you said, it was like, I'm thankful for my eyes. I'm thankful, for the breath in my lungs. I'm thankful to be able
Yes.
to, get up and walk. I'm thankful to just be able
Yes.
to open and close my hands, even just some of the
Yes.
smallest things. And when I tell you,
Yes.
like, so
Yes.
much was so lifted. And then it also
Yes.
quieted my mind. Because
Yes.
sometimes, it
Yes.
always just
Yes.
seems like there's so much that's going
The
on.
chatter
And
box. Yes.
right.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Which is why I'm like, yeah, I need to get this out on paper. Like, if you can't, if guys, if you're
Yeah.
on the road
Yep.
and it's just going and you need it to stop, really just get into that space. Because when I say
Yes.
everything just slowed down, it quieted down, and there was just
It
so
slows
much peace
down.
in that
Yes.
moment that
Yes.
it was funny. I was able to hear
Mhm.
things that I didn't even like sit and say,
Yes.
okay, hey, I got some questions for you, or where am I supposed to go next? But I was able to just so clearly hear about certain things. And I was like, oh, okay,
Yes.
wow, like she's on to something. So just so y'all know, this journal, it ain't just a piece of paper, and a pretty red and white book. I promise you there is some
Right.
real gems in there. And
Yes.
I can't wait to come back after 40 days and really just tell you
Yes.
honestly the huge
The things
difference
that,
that
yeah.
this
Yep.
has
The
made
things.
in my life. So
Yes.
I'm excited. So
And
I
I
look
can't
again.
wait to
I
bring some big women to Kenya. Imagine being like 10 women in Kenya in that beautiful space, waking up in the morning to the sunrise and to the goats and the chicken, and also having a night
yes,
together where you journal and be able to share, whether it's for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. These will be my ideal, like hanging out and just being able to feed off each other and empowering each other. That's my ultimate vision in
absolutely.
the future, where we're bringing women in Kenya, our families in Kenya, and during that time, their life is completely changed.
Well, listen, I'm all for it. Since I met
Yeah.
you, I have been doing the same exact thing that you have been doing, talking about the Upendo Foundation, talking about
Yes.
Regina, talking about guys. You will never
Yes.
believe where I'm about to go next. So,
Yes.
if
Yeah.
you have your passport ready, you ready to do
Yes.
some work, you're ready to be able to volunteer and to be able to serve in this space, like
Yes.
Regina said, she is going to be back in Kenya in September. I am going to be heading out there in January. So I am like,
Let's
get your
go. Let's
passports
do it.
ready. Let's go. Let's
Yes.
do this
Let's
thing.
do it.
If
Yep.
I need to put together a group, y'all know how to inbox me, get on, contact House of Peach, let me know, say, hey Mo, I'm in. And we will make sure
Yes.
that you get everything that you need to make sure that we can be able to do this amazing international trip. Hopefully it's
Yes.
a big enough group that now we're getting some nice rates, the whole 9 yards. So guys, look, let's not make excuses. Let's get this together. Let's enter this heart of service. Let's enter this time of just life changing, doing something different that's intentional, that's meaningful, and impactful on so many ways. So Regina, I appreciate you so much. One, for sharing, for
Thank,
being vulnerable,
yes.
willing,
Thank you
willing to
so
come,
much. Yes.
and I cannot wait. Can you give us website so that
Yes.
people know how to be able to get in contact with you, all of that good stuff.
Yes. Yes. So our website is, of course, the HTTPS, but it's www.upendo. Upendo is spelled UPENDO, meaning love in Swahili. Upendo United Foundation.org. So it's again www.upendo, upendo, unitedfoundation.org. And that's our handle in LinkedIn, Instagram, all that is still Upendo United. So you'll be able to see the logo uh, for the like you'll be able to see this
Yes,
logo.
the
That's how you
tree.
know you're in the right
Yes.
website. Yeah, people pouring love into their community, so you'll be able to see that. But thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the opportunity even to bless other women. Hopefully, their cups are filled today. And I'm available as well. If somebody wants to do one on one, I'm available to help you. This is all we can
Yes.
do.
Absolutely. I'm telling y'all, the one on one is it. Look, I need to schedule my next one on one with you because listen, last week was absolutely
Let's
amazing.
do
So I
it.
can't wait to look.
Let's do it. Let's do
I'll be
it.
seeing
Yes.
you on Saturday. But yes, I was like, we definitely need another
Yes.
one on one because it's a pleasure really just being in your presence.
Yes.
So I appreciate you.
Oh,
Next
thank you
week,
so
you
much.
guys, you're absolutely welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And listen, we will if you're available, we would love to have you back once the next phase,
Yes.
something next new is coming up just for you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
for you to be able to update and share. Okay?
Yes. Yes,
All
I
right.
am. We are village. That's what I call it. It's a village, right?
Absolutely. And
It's a
for
village.
those of y'all who know, this is something that I've been praying for a long time, especially some real good, solid connections.
Yes.
And especially some women that I know at the end of the day, that when the same way that I pour into, they do the same exact thing. And,
Yes.
together we honestly go further. So
Yes. Yes.
next week,
Absolutely.
we are super excited to have our He Said, She Said segment, and I believe we said that the title was supposed to be whose baby is this or something like that. I have no idea. It's a clip to
Yes.
clutch your pearls and to have a real good conversation about. So we are excited next time, you guys. Same time, same station. We will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. here at the House of Peach. April will be back. And once again, Regina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
And
and
I
have a
will
great
see you
night.
guys next week. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Good night.